Okay, guys, welcome to your NBA preseason review. So, we've already had two games already that were already played. So, the Pacers beat the Rockets 110 to 100. Um, so, we're already off to a pretty decent, preseason already. Then we have the matchup between the Kings and the Lakers. Lakers win 128 123 over those Sacramento Kings. I heard it was a really good, decent game for a preseason game. So I think the Lakers are going to be a much better team this year, especially with LeBron on the team. And they went out and got some decent free agents. So we'll see what happens for the future, but I think this is going to be a much better year for them. Um, Games that are booked for tonight on Friday night: 76ers versus Mavs, Heat versus Wizards, New Orleans versus New York Knicks, Hawks versus Grizzlies, Pistons versus Spurs, Celtics versus Cavs. What I want to talk about also in this video is the Heat have been really interested in Jimmy Butler. They've been going out of their way to come up with trade packages for him. Um, and from my understanding, the deal was just about done. But unfortunately, there was some technicalities that happened, which prevented the deal from going through. I think it had to do with the general manager apparently for the Minnesota Timberwolves. I guess that he didn't like the deal that was being offered, um, which I don't think was a terrible deal. I mean, you get a first round draft pick, um, and it's not like Butler wants to be there. Jimmy does not want to be in Minnesota. He's already said that he does not want to play with Wiggins or Towns. So, I mean, why would you keep him on the roster? Get that first round draft pick, build your team in the draft, get a decent player out of it. That Miami's sending you another player who is not a terrible player. So I'm not understanding why that did not happen. So now where do the Timberwolves even go for in this situation now? There's not too many other teams that are really interested. I mean, the 76ers are, the Knicks are, but again, who are you going to get to help the Wolves out? I mean, I would have taken the Miami deal. I mean, you get Josh Robinson and a first round draft pick. Why wouldn't you not accept that? That makes no sense whatsoever. So that's just my theory here. Um, and the Bulls have been pretty interested in trying to get some free agents as well. They're still trying to basically fill out their roster. Um, I know that they went out and they got a few decent players in free agency, but is that going to help them in the long term? I think not, honestly. And I'm a Bulls fan, and I'm looking at it as this is not going to be a very good year. We don't have the talent that we need. We have some decent rookies and some veteran players, but I don't think we're going to win any more than 30 games this year, unfortunately. I think we're going to be one of those teams that does not do very well in our conference. Um, we have teams ahead of us that are just so much better, like 76ers, Boston, even the Cavs, I would say, are ahead of us. Um, I mean, Toronto is a decent team this year. Now that that they've picked up the free agents that they have, Kawhi Leonard was a huge pickup for them, and I think that they're going to do wonderful things in the East. Um, I think that the West is going to be wide open, honestly, because there's a lot of teams who have done great things in free agency. So it's really up to what they are capable of doing to compete with, the Warriors. Um, and unfortunately, the Warriors have gotten some new free agents as well in the offseason. So they're probably going to be just as good as they were last year. Um, do I think the Lakers are going to win? any more games this year? Yes. Are they going to make it to the first round of the playoffs? Yes. Are they going to lose in the second round of the playoffs? I think so, unfortunately, because if they pick up a team like the Warriors, or honestly, at this point in time, I mean, the Blazers aren't terrible. They could make the playoffs. Um, so the Lakers had better understand that there's other teams in that division in the West who can compete. I mean, the Thunder aren't bad. I mean, my and the whole thing about I mean the Rockets are a solid team too. I mean, now that they've got Carmelo Anthony, they're going to be picking up a lot of slack from last year. They're not going to want to bounce in the playoffs. They're going to want to succeed this year. The Mavs, I don't see them really being a playoff team this year. It's a rebuild year. They don't have enough people on their team to really make a run. The San Antonio Spurs are kind of the same way. They don't really have enough free agents as well. So they're going to have probably a bad year. I mean, they might win like 50 games, but I guarantee that they're not going to make it the second or third round of the playoffs because they don't have enough talent. Um, so it's going to be an interesting year for the NBA. I just wanted to quickly do this preseason thing. Um, Again, the teams that I'm picking, honestly, to do fairly well would be the Celtics. I think the Rockets are going to be fairly well, the Warriors, and I'm going to also pick the Toronto Raptors. I think that they'll have a good year. Um, so, unfortunately, as a Bulls fan and as a Lakers fan, I don't think it's going to be a very good year, unfortunately. I mean, we both teams might have more wins than last year, but I don't think that we're going to do much in the playoffs. And I don't think the Bulls will make the playoffs, unfortunately. We just don't have the talent yet. If we could get some good draft picks and draft well going into next year, or get some free agents to come to Chicago, maybe then things will turn around. I do think that the general manager for the Bulls, this is a hit or miss year. I feel like if he doesn't succeed this year, going into next year, I think we need new management absolutely right now going into next year. If we don't have any more wins than last year, then he needs to go. We need to get a new general manager, a new coach. I mean, the whole thing just needs to be dumped, and new management needs to be adjusted. And we need to have some free agents coming there who wants to be a Bull and wants to understand what tradition is. Um, and that's why I never should have. I know I'm going to get heat for this, but I don't think we ever should have traded Jimmy Butler. That was a horrible trade for him and for the Bulls organization a few years ago. I think that that's really what kept the downfall for the Bulls going forward. We were not able to keep the free agents happy who came there. We couldn't keep the players that were on our team happy. We really needed to adjust the free agent market to get the talent that we need there to have a successful year. The same thing goes for the Lakers too. Like I said, I like the Bulls and Lakers, and I feel like those are the two teams that I root for more often. But I just wanted to do this preseason video and just let you guys know that those games happen, and we have some more games Friday night. So, okay.